The massive ship emerged from the darkness of space, its hull gleaming under Earth's sun. It was larger than anything humans had ever built, a true city among the stars. Admiral Kang stood on the bridge of Earth's best spacecraft, the Defender, which now seemed tiny compared to the alien vessel. "Sir, they're sending a signal," said Lieutenant Park, her fingers moving quickly across the control panel. "Put it on screen," Kang ordered, straightening his uniform. The screen flickered to life, showing a being with smooth blue skin and large, intelligent eyes. "Greetings, Earth representatives. I am Supreme Overseer Ju of the Galactic Confederation. We have been observing your world for some time." Admiral Kang maintained a calm face despite his racing heart. "On behalf of Earth, we welcome you. I am Admiral Kang of the United Earth Defense Force." "Defense Force? How quaint," Ju said with what seemed like a smile. "Our scans show your military capabilities are quite modest. We classify Earth as a Class 3 military power. Nothing to worry about." 2 days later, Earth's leaders gathered in the newly established contact center. Representatives from all nations sat together as they prepared to meet the aliens in person. Admiral Kang and Lieutenant Park stood with the military delegation, watching as the Confederation team entered. Supreme Overseer Ju walked in first, followed by diplomats of various species. One caught Kang's attention, a tall, thin being introduced as Intelligence Director Han. "Your world is quite interesting," Director Han said to Kang during the reception. "Though technologically, you are where most species are 500 years. Before space travel." Kang smiled politely. "We develop at our own pace." "Of course," Han said, not hiding his look of superiority. "The Confederation welcomes all species, even developing ones." Over the next week, negotiations continued. The Confederation offered Earth membership, but with terms that would essentially make humans second-class citizens in the galaxy. President Min addressed Earth's delegation privately. "They see us as weak. Let them continue thinking that." Admiral Kang nodded. "Our hidden bases remain undetected. Their scans don't show our true capabilities." Lieutenant Park added, "They're only seeing what we want them to see." On the 10th, day of negotiations, alarm suddenly blared. A Confederation officer rushed into the meeting room. "Supreme Overseer, Vraxian ships have been detected near Earth's outer colony on Europa." Ju seemed unconcerned. "The Vraxians are a minor nuisance. They often test new members of the Confederation." "They've fired on our research station," Lieutenant Park reported, checking her communications device. Kang stood up. "We request immediate assistance from the Confederation." Director Han laughed softly. "This is a good learning opportunity for your species. The Vraxians will probably destroy a few outposts before they lose interest. It's how things work in space." "We will handle it ourselves then," Kang said calmly. "With what?" Han asked. "Your primitive ships? Our assessment shows you have only 12 vessels capable of space combat, and none with technology that can match even the Vraxians." President Min exchanged looks with Admiral Kang before speaking. "We will manage." That evening, in a secure room beneath the negotiation center, Earth's leaders gathered around a holographic display showing Jupiter and its moons. "The Vraxians have destroyed the outer research station and are moving toward the main colony," reported General Su, pointing to red dots moving across the display. "They took the bait," Admiral Kang said. "Time to show just a small fraction of what we can do." President Min nodded. "Activate Task Force 7. But remember, show only what we must, nothing more." Admiral Kang contacted the hidden base on Mars. "Captain Song, deploy your squadron. Defense Protocol Delta." In space, 5 unremarkable Earth ships left their hiding places in Mars's shadow. To any observer, they appeared to be standard transport vessels. Unknown to the Confederation, these ships contained technology Earth had kept secret for decades. Captain Song's voice came through clearly. "Task Force 7 deploying. We will protect our people." In the Confederation flagship above Earth, Director Han watched with amusement as the Earth ships moved toward Jupiter. "They're sending cargo ships against Vraxian raiders. This will be educational." Supreme Overseer Ju nodded in agreement. Sometimes new species must learn hard lessons. Neither of them noticed the small smile that passed between Admiral Kang and Lieutenant Park as they watched the Earth fleet disappear into the darkness of space, heading toward a confrontation that would soon shock the entire Galactic Confederation. Captain Song sat calmly in the command chair of the Earth vessel Thunder, leading the small fleet of 5 ships toward Jupiter. To outside observers, these ships looked like ordinary transport vessels, bulky, slow, and defenseless. The Confederation, observers watching from their monitoring station near Earth's moon, had already predicted the outcome, a swift defeat for the humans. "All ships report ready, Captain," said Commander Bay, standing at attention beside Song. "Good. Maintain radio silence except for standard distress signals," Song replied. "Let the Vraxians think we're scared." The ships continued their journey, broadcasting fake emergency codes that made them appear damaged and desperate. Inside the Thunder, however, the crew worked with practiced precision. "Vraxian fleet detected," announced Officer Min. 12 warships surrounding Europa colony. They've already destroyed the outer defense satellites." Song nodded. "Begin Phase 1. On the main Confederation vessel orbiting Earth, Intelligence Director Han had invited several diplomatic representatives to witness what he called a practical lesson in galactic politics. A large screen showed the approaching Earth ships and the much larger Vraxian vessels. "Notice how primitive their design is," Han explained to the gathered aliens. "No energy shields, visible propulsion systems, minimal weapons ports." Supreme Overseer Ju nodded. "The Vraxians will make quick work of them. It's unfortunate, but Earth must learn that the galaxy is not a friendly place." Back on the Thunder, Captain Song gave the order as they approached Jupiter's orbit. "Disable camouflage systems. Weapons hot." The exterior of the 5 Earth ships seemed to shimmer and change. Hidden panels slid away, revealing advanced weapon systems. The bulky exterior shell separated, revealing sleeker, faster vessels underneath. "What's happening?" Director Han leaned forward, staring at his display in confusion. "Their ships are changing." The Thunder accelerated suddenly, reaching speeds the Confederation had thought impossible for Earth technology. The other 4 ships fanned out in perfect formation, each taking position around the Vraxian fleet. The lead Vraxian ship fired first, a purple beam of energy lancing toward the Thunder. Captain Song didn't even flinch as the beam hit what appeared to be empty space 3 meters from the hull and dissipated completely. "Invisible shields?" gasped one of the Confederation observers. "That's impossible. Our scans showed no such technology." Song's voice was calm as she gave her next order. "Target their weapon systems only. We don't need to destroy them." The Thunder fired first. Not the crude missiles the Confederation expected, but precisely aimed energy beams that cut through the Vraxian shields like they weren't even there. 2 more Earth ships fired simultaneously, disabling the engines, on 3 enemy vessels. In the observation room, Director Han's mouth hung open in shock. "This cannot be. Their technology is at least level 8, possibly level 9. We rated them at level 3. The Vraxian commander's voice came through on an open channel, sounding panicked. "What is this? You were supposed to be defenseless. This is not..." "What we were told." The battle, if it could even be called that, lasted exactly 27 minutes. When it ended, all 12 Vraxian ships floated helplessly in space, their weapons and engines disabled. Not a single one had been destroyed, and not a single human life had been lost. Captain Song opened a direct channel to the Vraxian commander. This was a warning. Return to your territory and inform your leaders that Earth is not to be threatened again. On Earth, Admiral Kang and Lieutenant Park stood in the back of the Confederation observation room, watching the shocked faces of the alien representatives. "Should we say something?" Park whispered. "No need." Kang replied softly. "The message is clear enough." Director Han turned to face them, his expression a mixture of fear and admiration. "You deceived us. Those aren't simple transport ships. Your military technology is far beyond what you presented." Admiral Kang smiled politely. "We presented nothing. You made assumptions." Supreme Overseer Ju approached them slowly. Why hide such capabilities? The Confederation values military strength. Does it? Kang asked. Then why did you immediately try to classify us as subordinate members? Why did you encourage the Vraxians to test us? The room fell silent as the implications became clear. Captain Song's voice came through the communication system. Europa. Colony is secure. Vraxian forces are retreating. Task Force 7 returning to base. Director Han studied the humans with new eyes. How much more are you hiding from us? Admiral Kang merely smiled. I believe we should continue our diplomatic discussions tomorrow, perhaps with revised terms. As they left the observation room, Lieutenant Park spoke quietly. They've only seen 5 ships. Should we tell them about the rest of the fleet? No, Admiral Kang replied. Let them wonder. It's better if they don't know how many teeth we actually have. Intelligence Director Han paced the secure room aboard the Confederation flagship. Around him, holographic displays showed various angles of Earth, its moon, and the surrounding space. A team of the Confederation's best analysts worked frantically at their stations, all trying to answer one question. How had they missed Earth's true capabilities? Show me the scan results again, Han ordered. Officer Gill, the chief analyst, brought up a 3D model of Earth. We've been deceived on multiple levels, Director. What we thought were primitive defense satellites are actually advanced sensor jammers. They've been feeding us false data since we arrived. Han slammed his fist on the table. Impossible. Our scanning technology is the most advanced in 7 sectors. Yet somehow, Gill continued, the humans developed countermeasures. Look here. He pointed to areas under Earth's oceans. These aren't simple marine research stations. They're massive manufacturing facilities completely shielded from our sensors. Another analyst, Senior Tech Doe, brought up images of Earth's moon. The dark side contains at least 6 major bases, all hidden by technology that makes them appear as natural formations. And this asteroid belt around Mars? Many aren't asteroids at all, but disguised weapon platforms. Director Han stared at the new data in disbelief. How long have they been preparing like this? Based on what we've uncovered, Gill said, at least 200 years, long before they officially achieved spaceflight. They've been building their true military in secret, showing the galaxy only what they wanted us to see. Meanwhile, in a deep underground facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Admiral Kang met with Earth's Defense Council. The room was filled with military leaders from around the world, all gathered around a table displaying the Confederation ships in orbit. They're scanning everything now, said General Su. Using their highest-level technology, they're beginning to find our hidden facilities. President Min nodded calmly. As we expected, let them see enough to be concerned, but not everything. Level 3 security protocols are active, Admiral Kang reported. They'll find the decoy bases and some of our older technology. The newest developments remain secure. Lieutenant Park entered the room with a tablet. The Confederation Council has called an emergency session. They're reclassifying Earth's status as we speak. In the Great Assembly Hall of the Confederation flagship, hundreds of representatives from different species gathered in rising tiers of seats. The atmosphere was tense as Supreme Overseer Ju took the central platform. Based on new intelligence, Ju announced, Earth is immediately reclassified as a Class 1 military power. Their technological capabilities and strategic readiness exceed our initial assessment by several factors. Murmurs spread through the assembly. A representative of the Vraxians stood. This is unacceptable. They humiliated our forces and revealed advanced weapon systems that violate Confederation entry protocols. What protocols did we violate exactly? Asked Ambassador Jin, Earth's representative who sat calmly in the lowest tier. We never claimed to lack defenses. We simply didn't volunteer information you didn't properly ask for. Director Han approached the center platform. Our latest scans have discovered military installations across Earth's solar system. Their defensive network is extensive. But most concerning is this. He displayed an image showing energy signatures around several planets. These suggest they have been monitoring all our communications since our arrival, possibly before. The assembly erupted in shocked voices. Back in the underwater facility, Earth's leaders watched the assembly through their own secret feeds. General Sue smiled slightly. They found the communication interceptors, right on schedule. What they don't know, said Admiral Kang, is that we've been intercepting their transmissions since their ships were still light years away. Our deep space array detected them long before they thought they were in range. President Min looked at the detailed profiles of each Confederation species displayed before them, information gathered over months of secret monitoring. For centuries we prepared for first contact, never knowing who would arrive first. We built our defenses while telling our people we were exploring space peacefully. And we were, Lieutenant Park added. But we were also ready if peace wasn't an option. On the Confederation flagship, Intelligence Director Han met privately with Supreme Overseer Ju. How much more are they hiding? Ju asked, his voice low with concern. Han displayed a map showing hundreds of suspected human military installations. These are only what we've confirmed so far, but based on their pattern of deception, I believe we're still seeing only what they want us to see. A species that prepares for centuries just for the possibility of hostile contact. Ju shook his head. They think differently than any species we've encountered. They're dangerous, Han said. No, Ju corrected. They're cautious. There's a difference. And now I wonder, what made them so cautious in the first place? As night fell over Earth, Admiral Kang stood at a window overlooking the Pacific Ocean, watching the lights of the Confederation ships visible in the evening sky. They're afraid now, Lieutenant Park said, joining him. Good, Kang replied. Fear breeds respect, and respect is what we need to secure our place among the stars. The news spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Within days, every species in the Confederation had heard about Earth's reclassification to a Class 1 military power. Worlds that had never paid attention to the small blue planet were suddenly canceling their planned exploitation missions and withdrawing their scout ships from Earth's solar system. In the Great Confederation Council chamber, representatives argued loudly. The chamber was divided into two clear groups, those who feared Earth and those who saw potential in an alliance. They must be controlled, shouted the Vraxian delegate, still smarting from their military defeat. No species should be allowed to hide such capabilities. It violates the spirit of Confederation membership. Supreme Overseer Ju raised his hand for silence. The humans broke no actual laws. They simply withheld information. Precisely my point, said Ambassador He, Earth's newly appointed representative, to the Council. She stood calmly at the center of the chamber, seemingly unbothered by the hostile glares from many delegates. Earth has a long history of invasions and conquests. Our caution comes from experience. Intelligence Director Han stepped forward with a data tablet. Our latest analysis suggests Earth has at least 5 times the military capacity we've directly observed. Their technological development in certain areas exceeds even our most advanced members. This announcement sent another wave of panic through the chamber. Several delegates from aggressive species immediately sent urgent messages to their homeworlds, canceling planned operations near Earth space. Meanwhile, on the Moon's hidden North Pole base, Admiral Kang met with Earth's military leadership. The circular command center was carved deep into lunar rock, completely shielded from detection. The Vraxians are organizing a coalition against us, reported General Sue, pointing to intercept data on the main screen. 6 species have joined them in demanding our immediate disarmament. Kang nodded calmly. And the others? 17 species have sent private messages requesting military alliances or technology sharing, Lieutenant Park said. 3 have offered significant resources in exchange for our defensive systems. Just as expected, President Min said from her position at the head of the table. Fear and opportunity, the 2 responses we predicted. A red light flashed on the security console. Commander Gill looked up sharply. Sir, we've detected a stealth vessel approaching the Jupiter defense perimeter. Confederation design but running. Dark. Show me, Kang ordered. The screen displayed a sleek black ship moving slowly through the shadow of Jupiter's largest moon, clearly trying to avoid detection. Spy mission, General Su said. "They want to assess our outer defenses." Kang smiled slightly. "Let's give them a proper welcome." Back in the council chamber, the debate had turned to formal demands. The Vraxian coalition had drafted a treaty requiring Earth to disclose all military capabilities and submit to Confederation oversight of their defense systems. "This is non-negotiable," growled the Vraxian leader. "Earth must comply or face sanctions." Ambassador He was about to respond. When her communication device beeped softly, she glanced at it, then smiled. "While we're discussing transparency," she said calmly, "perhaps you could explain why there's a Confederation intelligence vessel currently attempting to infiltrate our Jupiter defense zone?" The chamber fell silent. Director Han's face showed shock before he could mask it. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said finally. Ambassador He touched her device. The main chamber screen activated, showing the black Confederation ship near Jupiter. Then the view pulled back to show 3 Earth vessels silently surrounding it, their weapons aimed but not firing. "Your stealth technology is impressive," He said, "but not as impressive as you thought. Our commander is currently serving refreshments to your spy team." They seemed surprised to be expected. Director Han's face flushed with embarrassment as laughter rippled through the chamber. On the stealth ship, Confederation Intelligence Officer Yu sat stiffly in what appeared to be a comfortable meeting room aboard the Earth vessel. Across from him, Captain Song sipped tea calmly. "How did you detect us?" Officer Yu finally asked. "Our stealth system is the best in the galaxy." "Is it?" Song replied with a small smile. "Would you like more tea?" The Earth crews had boarded the spy ship with startling ease, disabling its systems before the Confederation team even realized they had been discovered. In the council chamber, Ambassador He addressed the stunned delegates. "Earth has monitored every communication, tracked every ship, and noted every threat since your arrival in our system. We know which species have been planning resource raids on our colonies. We know which corporations were preparing to steal our genetic material. And we know which council members voted to allow the Vraxians to test our defenses." She paused, letting her words sink in. "Earth does not want war. We never have. But we have prepared for it for centuries because we understood a simple truth. The greatest danger often comes disguised as friendship." Supreme Overseer Ju studied the human ambassador with new respect and a touch of fear. "What does Earth want from the Confederation?" "Respect," Ambassador He answered simply, "and the freedom to determine our own future among the stars." 6 months after the failed spy mission, the galaxy had changed. Earth's small but elegant embassy stood on the Confederation capital world, distinct from the grandiose structures of other species. Unlike the towering monuments to power built by older members, the Earth building was modest in size but surrounded by beautiful gardens that drew visitors from across the galaxy. Inside the embassy's main meeting room, Ambassador He sat across from the Vraxian Supreme Commander, a being who had sworn never to speak with humans just months earlier. "Your terms are acceptable," the Vraxian said, placing his seal on the peace treaty. "The border will be respected." "Excellent," Ambassador He replied. "Earth looks forward to peaceful trade relations." After the Vraxian delegation left, Admiral Kang entered from a side door. "That's the 4th aggressive species to sign a non-aggression treaty this month. Amazing. What a little demonstration of strength can do," he said with a small smile. Across the capital city, in the Confederation Military Academy, a crowd gathered outside a lecture hall. Inside, Captain Song stood before a class of alien officers from 30 different species. On the wall behind her, a display showed Earth's unique defensive formations. "The key is adaptability," Song explained. "Traditional military doctrine teaches fixed responses to fixed threats. Earth's approach assumes the threat will always change." The officers took notes eagerly. 6 months ago, none would have considered learning from humans. Now, getting into Captain Song's lectures required special permission from the highest levels of government. In the Academy courtyard, General Su met with Supreme Overseer Ju. "Another successful session," Ju observed. "Your officers are in high demand as instructors." "We're happy to share defensive knowledge," Su replied. "Though we keep the best tricks to ourselves, of course." Ju laughed lightly. Of course, every species has its secrets, though yours seem to run deeper than most. On Earth, President Min walked through a newly established Confederation Science Center. Alien researchers worked alongside human scientists, studying shared problems like climate restoration and disease prevention. The exchange program is working well, Lieutenant Park reported as she accompanied the president. We're gaining valuable knowledge about long-term space habitation. And they're learning that not all our strengths are military, Min replied. The biggest change had come in the Confederation Council itself. The chamber that once treated Earth as an afterthought now fell silent when Ambassador He spoke. When votes were taken on major issues, representatives watched to see Earth's position before deciding their own. In a private meeting room adjoining the council chamber, Director Han met with Earth's military leadership. His once superior attitude had been replaced by careful respect. The Drax's collective is pushing boundaries in the Outer Rim, Han reported, showing a star map with red markers. They've ignored 3 warnings from the council. Admiral Kang studied the map. Near the Andromeda trade routes, important territory. The council is considering a peacekeeping mission, Han said carefully. Your task force has the most advanced ships. Interesting, Kang replied. 6 months ago you tried to spy on us. Now you're asking for our help. Han looked uncomfortable. Situations change, perspectives evolve. Later that evening, in the magnificent Confederation Grand Hall, representatives from all member species gathered for the annual Unity celebration. Amid the colorful crowd, Elder Statesman Choi, the oldest member of the council and representative of one of the founding species, approached. Ambassador He. May I speak frankly, Ambassador? The ancient alien asked. Of course, Elder Choi. In my 500 years of diplomatic service, I have seen empires rise and fall. I have watched countless species join our confederation, Choi said softly. Some arrive with grand displays of military might, others with impressive technological achievements. And humans? He asked. You arrived with closed hands, Choi said, making a fist to demonstrate. Showing little, holding much in reserve. It is unusual. Ambassador He smiled. Earth has a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. Yes, I've studied your history, Choi nodded. But there's something deeper. Your species prepared, for centuries just for the possibility of meeting others. You built defenses before you knew there were threats. Why such caution? Imagination, he replied simply. Humans have always imagined both the best and worst possibilities. We hoped for friendship but prepared for danger. Across the room, a group of Raxian officers was speaking with Captain Song, their former enemy now treated with cautious respect. Your species has changed the balance of power throughout the sector, Elder Choi observed. Many now look to Earth for leadership or protection. We never sought to rule, Ambassador He said, only to ensure our survival. And yet power has found you anyway, Choi replied. He raised his ceremonial glass. To Earth, may your teeth remain sharp, even while your smile remains friendly. As the celebration continued around them, ships from 50 worlds orbited peacefully above the Confederation capital. Among them, Earth vessels maintained their vigilant watch, no longer hiding their strength but still keeping many secrets safely hidden among the stars.